Welcome to Surviving the Side Hustle, the show where driven entrepreneurs share the real stories, the real honest struggles, and the hard-won secrets behind performing at their best. I'm your host, Rob Tracy, a personal performance strategist and the founder of TAPS Coaching, where I partner with entrepreneurs to turn real effort into real momentum. Every week, I sit down with an owner-operator who's building something of their own, and we get past the highlight reel to find out what's actually working. Because the truth is, most people don't need more. They need to pay attention to what works for them and do more of that. So whatever you're building, let's stop spinning and start winning. We'll jump into the show right after this. If you're an entrepreneur or owner-operator who's working hard but feeling stuck spinning your wheels instead of building real momentum, I'd love to help. I want to invite you to a free strategy session with one of our performance strategists. We'll help you see what's actually working, what's holding you back, and the clearest next step to get your momentum going again. To claim your free strategy session, head over to survivingthesidehustle.com/free call. Again, that's survivingthesidehustle.com/free call. We'd love to talk to you. And now back to the episode. What's going on? And welcome back to another episode of Surviving the Side Hustle. I'm super excited today because we've got a very interesting guest. Today's guest is someone whose story will literally stop you in your tracks. He's a Marine veteran, speaker, and founder of Divine Warriors Dimension, which is a growing ecosystem focused on identity, accountability, and leadership, especially for veterans, men, and purpose-driven entrepreneurs. From homelessness to community leadership, from survival mode to building a collective. This conversation today is going to be all about resilience, authenticity, and what it really means to build something bigger than yourself. Anthony Cutnow, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, and thank you for that introduction. And that you got it exactly right. So I have nothing else to change about that. But yeah, you got everything exactly right.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'd love to just hop right in then, if we could. I know we talked previously, so before we talk about business, I want to start with you as an individual. So where did your journey really begin?
The business journey really began. It started when I was actually homeless. I was homeless at that particular time, staying with my dad, and then maybe a little while after that, I was on the street for like a few days a week. And then one of my friends who actually she's a me and her we grew up together as like my sister, but I went to the Marine Corps after her, and unfortunately for her, she wasn't able to finish boot camp. She got hurt. But when she found out, just called, checked on me, and then I stayed with her and her husband for a little while before going and when I was staying with them is when I actually officially did the paperwork for the actual business. During that time, transitioning from my dad to the streets, her staying with her is when the business and speaking actually started. I didn't go looking for it. I didn't want to start it. I had no intentions of starting a business. I looked into it and dabbled and did research and everything about it, but I honestly just wanted to be retired and chill with my family and stuff. The business started by, I want to say, God actually did it, and then the Marine Corps on top of that, because the night that I got the actual literal phone call, I was outside in the yard my dad house, smoking, talking to God, cursing God, talking to God, how me and him talk. And literally 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later in that range, I got the phone call from my sergeant major. Sergeant Major Clay, and he was talking about me to my ghostwriter and my writing coach, Dr. Oliver Reed. And somehow, some way, I came up in a conversation, and Sergeant Major was telling him about me and stuff like that, and they called me on the phone. And literally, like I said before that, I was smoking, cussing God, like, why this, why that, all that stuff like that. And he answered. He literally answered minutes later. Talk, talk to Dr. Reed for a little bit, and Sergeant Major, and then the next day or a couple of days later, Sergeant Major called me again and told me to go to a He-Man event, which is run. Now we all running together. At that time, it was Dr. Reed doing it, and they was doing a He-Man event in Hateville, Atlanta, which is in College Park, Georgia, which where I was at. And so I went to the event, and I didn't know anybody. That was my first time meeting Dr. Reed, and I'm there by myself. Sergeant Major wasn't there yet. And so I'm sitting there in the audience just watching, the speakers, everybody talk, just observing and looking, see what was going on. And then Dr. Reed was on the other side of the auditorium. And you know how you can feel somebody looking at you, staring at you. And
Yeah.
so I did that, and I'm like, he like, and basically giving the nod to go on the stage because there was one seat left on the stage. They were doing a panel, and that one seat, if I remember right, was the first seat, or like this next to first seat, something like that. So I didn't had again, I think no intention, no nothing. So I went up there, sat there. There was a panel. And whatever I said when it was my time to talk, whatever I still don't know what I said. I honestly don't know what I said, but it resonated. And then on the stage with me was Jose Escobar, who's the CEO for Connect the Leaders Academy, which is currently from that day till like right now, he's my mentor. I'm going through his mentorship program. And then it was who's another speaker, poet, and then couple other people. I can't remember everybody's name. Those are the two I remember. Emilio, yeah, Emilio was there. Emilio Ramon, he was there. So, so long story short, so we can get going. After we got done, that's when I got introduced to Jose Escobar and a couple other people and stuff like that. And from that day forward, all the way up until now, which was 3-4 years ago, that I became an entrepreneur. That's what started under the guidance of mentorship of Jose and a couple other people. That's how my business started off until this point now, and it just been morphing and forming on its own. I've been learning more, speaking more, getting and stuff like that. People been coming to me. They was like, "Can you help me with this?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." Now I'm a publisher. I have a publishing company now. I'm like, "Okay, I figured it out." Can you help me with this? Okay, now I'm a speaker coach. Cool. All right. Now help me with this. Can you help me? Okay, now I'm a branding coach. I can help you with this. So it morphed on its own, and then me reading more in the Bible and reading more of the. Right now, I'm doing the Bhagavad Gita now, and just learning and stuff like that, it just morphed and grown. And, obviously on my own stuff, doing things, learning stuff. And that's how it started. And then the name, and that's how the name came about.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're wearing a lot of different hats now in your current day with your business, role switching between different types of coaching that you're delivering and different services that you're providing for a lot of other people. And then I know in a previous conversation that you and I had, you've told me that you've lived in New Orleans, you
Mhm.
lived in Dallas, and now you live in California.
Yeah.
So what if anything, what has lived or what lesson have you learned from living in all these different places that helps you now wear these different hats that you do?
Is that's my life. I had no control of how things went, how things, responded and happened by me, going different places. And during that entire time, like me originally being from New Orleans and transition all that stuff, this entire time that I've been in business, up until maybe a year or so ago when I was in Dallas, because was homeless and ended up in Dallas. And then now I'm here in California. That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. majority of the time I've been in business, I've been homeless. On a personal side, been dealing with all that stuff. However, on the business side, the business has been still growing. It's still been moving. It's still been, going through whatever stages. And for me, and in my health on a personal side, my health and everything else, doing everything we're doing, it's literally been God. I can't, it's not me. I haven't done anything special. I don't do a lot of things. I literally just live on faith and God. That's how I got here. That's how it started. That's my story. That's how I was born. Literally, that's my birth. That's different stages in my life that didn't happen. So when I say this, like I think I told you, like I've died a couple of times while in business and other stuff like that. I say this a lot, and I should get it licensed or something that when God has a purpose for you, not even death can stop that purpose. And I'm a living, breathing example of that because I'm literally not supposed to be alive. I'm not supposed to be talking. I'm not supposed to be doing a lot of things that I'm doing. When people meet me, they have no idea that all this stuff is going on. They have no idea that when I'm smiling, speaking, I'm in pain. I'm suffering. I'm going through seizure that time, man. But I'm still functional. I'm still talking. I'm still alert. I'm still breathing. I still wake up every day and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm not stuttering. I talk with a stutter. But for whatever reason, when I'm speaking and stuff, I don't stutter. I don't control that. I don't do any tricks or anything. So it's God. Everything is God. And if you don't believe in God, you believe in somebody. So it's whoever you believe in. So that's what I gotta say. Just God. Keep faith in God and don't be stupid about it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people go through a lot of different hardships and they don't really take a second back to kind of reflect and see where things are going. And they don't, I guess sometimes they don't get the kind of blessing that you've received. Why do you think that you're pushed forward to kind of share this message and continue to help all these different people?
That's a good question. I was like, I've never been asked that. So for me, is I honestly truly believe that I am a reincarnation of some apostle. I want to say Habakkuk, a prophet, or some type of. I'm one of the 144,000 or something. I don't know what it is. But it's undeniable sight. When your third eye is open and you've been through so many things, is you have to accept what it is or what it could be. So for me, it's is that I gotta say when you have a purpose, not even death can stop it. My birth, I died during my actual birth. I've died a couple times in my life. I've been a John Doe. I didn't know one of my cousins had to remind me that I got shot and stabbed. I didn't remember. I got the scars, met the scars, and he was like, "That's from that." I'm like, "For real?" Da, da, da." So this is, and then by me joining the Air Force and then getting kicked out the Air Force, and then 3 days later going to the Marine Corps, and how that happened, and me having my plate, my brain, and the seizures, and this and that, and all that stuff. So it's and how things happen is the connections. I say one of my two is that the individual collective. We're all individuals, but we are on the same. We are connected, and in the greater good. But for me, I say is again God. I don't know what my exact purpose is. I think I know. I believe what it is because how things happen. They say you take this away, you take that away, you take this away. I forget exactly what it's called. Deduction. The deduction for me, speaking is literally the only thing I can do. I can't work. I can't be stressed out with my VA, Social Security, retirement, disabilities, all that stuff. I can't be outside long, can't be standing up long. I don't sleep a lot. The headaches, migraines, I have seizures while I'm talking. I just had one a little while ago. So I had to get permission from my doctors to do certain things. I can't go hard in the business. I can't do all these certain things. So for me, it's literally speaking. That's the only thing I can actually do. I can do it from home. I can do it from the stage with a chair. So a message, my life, my example, my father, my mother. So for me, it's literally just to be a living, breathing, biblical example to somebody that no matter what you're going through, with me is my brain. Our brain is the hard drive for us. My physical actual brain is damaged, so and it affects the rest of my body and so on and so forth, domino effect. So is that I think I'm literally here just to be an example to somebody, anybody. I don't want the money, even though, need money to do things and stuff like that. If it happens, it happens. And for me, my other people that get on me about it, you're like, you need money. It's not for me. I want to make money to give it away. I honestly, truly do. If I make $1 million, I want to give 900,000 that away, and I'm gonna keep 100, and everybody else can have the rest. Do what they need to do because that's really me. That's my mindset. So I'm not money hungry, so I don't have that. I'm not self-centered, so I don't have that. I am fully aware I am a imperfect, perfect man. So I have that. I know my faults. I talk about my faults. I'm not ashamed of my faults. So what more can I do than be my genuine, authentic, not supposed to be herself? If somebody gonna get something from it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a lot of like you covered a lot of powerful things there. And I want to touch on how you say that you're not money honey hungry. And I can see how that kind of helps you in many ways because you're maybe not as distracted with vices or other desires or wants. You're just kind of focused on the impact that you're kind of creating. But I want to flip it the other way. How do you think maybe not being money hungry has kind of slowed down your progress with your business, if it has at all?
It has. It has. And that is it. For me, I say I don't have that financial drive. I'm not good at sales, but when I was a recruiter, I could sell the wrinkle easily. But selling myself, talking about myself, like right now, I'm struggling with going on social media. I know I have to do it. I know it's one of the things for business, but I'm not good at just talking about myself. That hinders me. And then my pricing, they say you got to price right and all that stuff. I actually feel uncomfortable with high prices because me myself can't pay that, and the people I want to help, they can't pay that. So, and then like I say, I give money away. Even in my own life, I don't really look at money. I look at money as a tool, which is a good thing, but I know it's a bad thing also because with that we look at tools. Tools now we put them up, use them whenever, forget about them and all that stuff like that. So translate that to business, it does do that. So I would say that mindset is positive and negative because I do know you need money to survive. Money is an obligation. You need money to make money, money to do this, pay this person, blah blah, all that stuff. But not having that money drive mindset for me, yeah, it hasn't been hindrance, but also at the same time, I don't focus on that because as you can say, you see it, how I dress, do everything like that. I'm not poor, but I'm not struggling, but it also shows that when it comes to the people like me, people that do relate to me and live similar lives and stuff like that, they see that that I am legit genuine. I'm not a fake. What you see online is what you're going to see in person. I'm not going to be all smiles and cheery and motivated on camera, but when you see me, I'm cussing, fucking, doing all that. Like, I don't live that life. The life that whatever people see on the social media, that's what I live in person. How I talk, what I talk about, this and that, that's me. That's my life. That's literally my life. I smoke weed. That's my vice. Majority of my money goes to these, and it goes to weed. and from that's it. Other than that, that's it. Other than that, I talk about God daily. I talk about this. I talk about that. Dun, dun, dun. So what you see is what you get. With me and my family, other friends know it. I literally give my last dollar. If I got 20 and you need 10, I'm gonna give you the 20. If you need five and I got 10, I'm gonna give you five. Or I'm gonna give you just 10 and I'm gonna do whatever until then. You know, people know when I say you need it more than me. And that's how I look at it. So if anybody does have a problem with how I look at money and my pricing, then to me, it's something is wrong with you and you not being authentic to your customers and what you saying.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff to kind of share there because was one of my mentors once said something along the lines of because people are always talking like, yeah, I'll give money when I make more money, then I can afford to donate and give back to
Mm,
charity and all these other things. And one of my mentors was saying like, if you can't afford to give a little bit when you don't have a little bit, you're definitely not going to give any bit once you start having a lot of it. So
right.
you got to, and people are always talking about doing more and more and more. It's refreshing to see how authentic you are because we live in this like world today that often rewards a lot of the hype and like the sales tactics and not really true authentic selves. And I remember you saying on our first conversation that you literally just be yourself and that's your marketing. So what's driven you to be so authentic? Like how do you fight that off where so many other people maybe tend to put up this fake identity or facade to kind of portray themselves as having more than what they actually do.
Is that I know what it's like to be around fake people and to literally move off of what they say and what they promise. Then when you get it, it's not what it is. Then my life, my personality will not allow me to be fake because I honestly truly will be uncomfortable. I honestly truly will. Like I've tried it. I've tried it. I can't do it. I can't. I literally can't do it. My family is I would say my family is the same way. My small circle of people that talk to me and stuff, they're like me. So, my being will not allow me to. I cannot when it comes to business, we talk about business, I cannot sit up there and tell somebody, give me $1,200, $5,000, and in the end, all you gonna walk away is with a pamphlet, another pricing for my next whatever, and you feel the same way. You get the same thing from everybody else. I can't do that. And then how I grew up, how I was raised, my own personal beliefs, me being in the Marine Corps, seeing what I seen, me being actually homeless and nobody helping, but everybody know I'm homeless. And all you got for me is words. So, and then seeing how us veterans are treated as food when it comes to business, and seeing how brand new entrepreneurial people, they struggling, and you're gonna take their last, knowing you taking their last, and all you're gonna give them is this, and the next price for it. I can't do that. I can't. I've been on that side. I've seen that side. So again, I know where I'm going if I dump the seed because the demons done told me where I'm going. And I'm like, okay, if that's where I'm going, but I know what my purpose is and I know what the other side looks like and what it is to have almost $1 million and what it is to have $0 and everybody around you know that you're struggling. And again, nobody helping, but they got words. They got do this, do that. I'm like, no, you see me. You know where I'm at. You know where I've been, and everybody else. So I done lived in the hoods with the little silver school matches as your bed and this and that. And like I done did all of that. I've been homeless as a kid, as an adult, a couple of times. No, I can't do it. I literally can't do it, and I don't work with anybody like that. I'm not friends with. I again, I can't. I just can't.
Well, so we met through a mutual connection because of Jose, and you said
Yeah.
that you are doing mentoring with Jose, and I know that his group, he's kind of growing the CLA community and is continuously getting bigger and bigger and larger. And I could see the success that you're kind of developing as a result of proximity and connecting and pushing yourself out there and continuing to do more and more and more. And as you are continuing to grow, and so is your business and the different ventures of your business, what would you say was or has been harder for you? Originally believing in yourself or learning how to structure and scale the things that you're doing? Hey, what's up? Sorry for the interruption. It's Rob. One quick thing before we keep going. If you're feeling stuck or like you've lost the momentum that you used to have, here's a simple, free first step. Take the assessment at gettheprime.com. In just a few minutes, it'll show you exactly where you're leaking momentum so you can get that ball rolling again with the Prime app. It's completely free. So if you're new here, this is the best place to start. Go ahead to gettheprime.com and take the free assessment. All right, let's get back into it.
It's the learning. It's the learning how to structure and scale it. It's that. For me, it's that. Because I know I've been told many times by people in business and then just how I started. And then you bring up Jose. He's been the main one. He's been the main one. My sergeant major got me into it. He's got me on the Marine Corps side when it comes to leadership and everything. But business wise, he has been my example, like-mindedness, helping me when he was like, no, I'm not. You like just get on the flight and we'll figure it out from there. And this and that. Like is his motivation. Like ever, I don't know what that man sees in me. I honestly truly don't know. Like I say, from Hateville till now, he's the one like, come here, do this, do this, no. I he literally made it impossible for me to say no and to grow and to be like, okay, I can do this. So it's that example is literally me. It's literally what I'm trying to do. So for anybody else, I want to say find a like-minded mentor. You're gonna know I didn't. I got blessed and I didn't have to go through a few different people, but you're gonna go through a few different people. And if that person that you wanting to mentor or think you can or wherever it is, if that person does not make it impossible for you not to grow, that is not a mentor. If all they want to do is to take your money when it comes to their mentorship program and you're not growing and they're not doing this and this, or they're not in it for the genuine. They just want the money and say, I got these many clients, give me a real bank, give me a not no, that is not it. Like between our conversations and stuff, he has been the example when it comes to business that I wanna be and portray. And when it comes to CLA, no, everybody in there has to go through him. So if you're in CLA, it's because you are like-minded like him, and that is it. So because you cannot join CLA without having a conversation with him and knowing him, he will tell you no if he don't. If he
Yeah. And I know you're building something that's so layered. You kind of hinted on it before about the publishing, the speaking, coaching, branding, and community. How do all these different aspects or arms of business, I guess, how do they all connect together? What's like the through line between them all?
is that you cannot do one without the other, and you have to be spiritually minded and spiritually business oriented to actually be it. Like with my institute that you brought that I'm building, it's for me. I want to be the gap filler from that single mama, that 20-year-old kid that want to get into business, or that person that been in the business, they struggling, they looking for something new. I want to be that gap filler. Cause again, I'm not money hungry, and my goal is to actually give back to what was given to me and to do what was done to me. And so again, be that example that you can come from suicideness, homelessness, depressingness, trauma, domestic, whatever it is, to helping others, whether you help a couple people, you help a lot of people, and don't be worried about the money because the money's gonna come. It's gonna come slow. It's gonna come fast, but it's gonna come sooner or later eventually. And so when you see other people starting out where they're starting from, that's and they're growing as you help them. That's what I want to be. That gap filler. Be like take a bunch of like-minded, already established entrepreneurs, business people, and put their money to where their mouth is and test them like these are them people. You say you help these people. You say you support these people. You say you came from this. You say you do this. You say you spiritual and la 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 la. Okay, these are them people. They can't pay you $15,000, $5,000. But however, no, we can make it affordable. When you got enough of people, again, in an individual collective, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna license that or something. When you get an individual collective together, everybody wins. Everybody grows. You got a bunch of people trying to make money off of everybody else. That's not it. That's not gonna happen. So for me, that's where the publishing and all that comes in at to get all these people. And I call them Divine Words Institute. Get all these people in there and take all these up and coming entrepreneurs, people struggling, and especially in this economy is going, everybody losing their jobs right now. Everybody about to try and be an entrepreneur. Everybody about to try and be an entrepreneur. But Amazon just laid off what not something people or whatever, So and then I was watching some other company just did it. Like so everybody and their mama about to be a struggling entrepreneur. So, all these well-established entrepreneurs, they gonna see these people as straight up chump, and they will be trying to get them for everything they got when they ain't got nothing to give. So I want to be that person that be like, look, we gonna get together, just like the Marine Corps, smallest of all the branches. We use less than everybody else. Get it together, and we gonna come together. We gonna help these people. You gonna tell them you ain't ready or you is ready. You need help with this, whatever the case may be. So that's essentially what it is.
Nice, nice. And so is the Divine Warriors dimension and the collective, is it two separate things or is it one part of the same?
Is one part of the same. So the Divine Words Dimension, that's the company, the institute and the collective, that's everything within it. I call it a hybrid version of it. Cause that's what I want to I want that to be a nonprofit. That's why I say I wanted to make money and give it all away. Like I really do. I really do. I just want to make money and give it all away. Obviously, again, I'm gonna put disclaimer. Obviously, I know you have to make money to not to spend money, stay in business, but however, do you really need $7 million? Do you really need all this stuff? Or do you just want it just to say that you have it? So when you can really take all that money and help people that really need help and still make money at the same time.
Yeah. See, that's powerful stuff. And if someone's listening to this right now, how do they know that they're a right fit for the Divine Warriors dimension, and the collective and all these things? How do they know that they're a good fit for it?
If you listen to this, you gonna know you're a good fit if you got a little bit offended about what I said, or you love everything what I said. That's how you know you're a right fit. Because you got a little bit offended or all the way offended, then you know that you doing something wrong, and you know what I said hit you in the wrong spot, and you are uncomfortable, and you just trying to find something to make yourself feel good about what you're doing. And if what I said didn't affect you, then hey, you are a perfect fit.
That's awesome. And so, how do people get in touch with you if they are interested in getting connected?
Look, Instagram, TikTok, look up my name, Google, and you'll be able to find me. And then On your social media. I'm on there. So click my name on there and go on there. The website is there. If I were to mention .com, that is actually going to be the website going to be changing over, but it's up there right now. Social media. Look up my name. You're gonna see my face. You only gonna find me and my daddy. That's it. So those are the only people you gonna find. You put in my name.
Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you give him a follow, Anthony Cutnow, on all the social channels, and shoot him a message if you're interested in getting connected and hearing about the different projects and things that he's working on. Dude, I gotta thank you for coming on today. It's been like a crazy pleasure. I love that you've been able to share a lot of your experiences and some of the insights that you have and your and also the things that you're building and working towards. I know once things start to get rolling and that momentum starts to roll, it's difficult to find time to kind of sit down. So I appreciate you carving out the time to come on today and talk with the audience and everything. But before I let you go, I want to ask you one final question. If if people only remember one thing about Anthony Cutno, what do you hope that thing is?
That I'm myself all the time, everywhere I go, in front of anybody. I've done it. Kings, queens, presidents. I'm myself all the time.
Wow, I love that. Authenticity shines through, creating some incredible stuff, working with some awesome people, and building something truly remarkable. So, dude, I appreciate you again. Thank you so much for coming on today.
So thank you for having me.
All right, sweet. That's a wrap on this week's episode of Surviving the Side Hustle. If this conversation gave you something that you can use, would you do me a favor and follow the show? And then please leave a quick rating and review wherever you listen. It genuinely helps more entrepreneurs find these stories, and it helps spread the word of our guests. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, do us both a favor and share the episode their way. You can connect with me and find everything that we mentioned over at survivingthesidehustle.com. Until next time, remember, pay attention to what works for you and then do more of that. That's how you stop spinning and start winning.